Fucking cock tease.
Hey, dirtbag! Yo! Dirtbag! Hey, dirtbag!
What the hell do you want?
Just checking you got a handle on your new name.
I'm so fucking pissed off right now. I'm so triggered and offended. Why? These two games. And why am I so offended? Because it's 2017 and being offended by pointless shit for the sake of being offended is fucking trendy right now. Yeah. Okay, but in all seriousness though, what the hell happened here? Mario spin-off titles were always known for the longest time to be really good party games where you could spend hours playing and never get bored. Even the lowest rated games were still considered decent for the most part, and you knew you were getting your money's worth. But for a while, it seemed like Nintendo just didn't have a clue what to do with some of these spin-offs. Or in the case of one game I'm going to be talking about today, was just pure laziness and didn't give a shit. I like to label this a Shadow Mario era, cause for the Wii U, Mario really was a shadow of his former self. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some great Mario games that come out for this system. Mario Kart 8 was a beast. It's only a matter of time before Super Mario Maker gets a sequel for the Switch, and 3D World was a pretty well put together game. But the problem is, and I'd say it's the Wii U's biggest disappointment, was that there was never that big exclusive 3D Mario game to define the Wii U. Huh? Super Mario 3D World is the Wii U's exclusive 3D Mario game? Shut up. You know what I mean. A true 3D Mario game. Hell, the Wii U doesn't even have a true exclusive main Zelda game either, now that I think about it. But this isn't really the reason why I've deemed the last couple of years the Shadow Mario era. This is more of setting the stage since those games were still pretty good. What I'm talking about are the tone-deaf, stubborn jackass games that nobody wanted in the way they were made. Yeah. You know exactly what games I'm referring to. The sequels that made us all question, why the hell are they being made this way again? Paper Mario Color Splash, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, and Mario Party fucking 10. Each of these games come from a series that were beloved in their prime and considered some of the best games of their time. But now people are cautious of these series and usually don't want to touch them with a 20-foot pole. And now I get to torture myself with two of them. Oh goody. For the sake of keeping this episode at a decent length, I'm only looking at two of them. Plus, I already shared my views and opinions on Color Splash in a mini review, so you can check it out after. So, let's get started with the lesser of two evils, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Also, what the hell is up with Luigi here? I know they were going for this Luigi death stare meme for a little while, but what the hell is this? Doesn't look like he's pissed off, he looks like he's constipated. To start this off, I'll get into the pros for this game. First, the presentation in terms of graphics and character animations are fantastic. Up until Super Mario Odyssey, I'd say these are some of the most energetic versions of these characters to date. I also have no complaints technical wise. I didn't run into any glitches, and I mean it plays like you'd expect it to, so it has that. And that's it. I'm not even kidding. Everything else either pissed me off at points from its mechanics, or I felt it was a huge downgrade in my opinion from even Open. And even then, I thought that was just a light version of Power Tennis. But I guess I should start on the new additions before I get into the big one. And the first one is Knockout Mode. Here you face off against other characters in a tiebreaker match. If you win, then you move on to another opponent, with the goal being to get as many consecutive wins as possible. On the 15th match, you'll face off against Bowser, who's been powered up by Kamek, and essentially acts like a boss battle. But really, besides better range, he's not that difficult. Defeat him and you'll unlock the star version of the character you're playing as. I'm definitely not a fan of this change. The tournament mode in previous games actually gave a single-player experience that felt rewarding since the difficulty ramped up with each match, and you actually played full tennis matches. Now granted, knockout mode can lead to unlocking star characters a lot faster, but you don't even have to play this mode to unlock them since Ultra Smash brings back the idea of coins. But instead of purchasing gear for your Mii, actually I'm shocked Miis aren't in this game now that I think about it, coins can be used as an alternative to unlocking stuff. And considering how boring knockout mode is, I honestly appreciate this a lot more than I ever should, because to play that mode 12 times? No fucking thank you. Next up is Mega Ball Rally. Here, you and a partner try to hit the ball back and forth as much as you can until one of you messes up, which slightly ramps up in difficulty every 30 hits as the ball shrinks and goes faster. Yeah, I don't think anyone played this mode past trying to get the reward for 100 volleys. But surprisingly, I played this mode more times than I should have. Wanna know why?
What the fuck?
But now let's talk about the Mega Battle, since it's pretty damn obvious that the developers were proud of this one. I mean, it takes up almost half the menu screen. The gimmick of this mode is pretty simple. Play normal tennis and here and there Toads will throw Mega Mushrooms on the playing field. If you collect one, as you would guess, will grow Mega, which will give you a boost in your abilities, such as power, reach, etc. But now here's why I despise this mode. This gimmick, this. Ugh. It's flawed and it wasn't thought out well. You get the power up and you think, oh shit, I need this, I need the boost. But it essentially becomes an unfair advantage for a bit. That is until you and your opponent is Mega, but then what the hell was the point in the first place? Interrupting the game only to do a little cutscene, being a distraction, only for you to maybe get an advantage for maybe one fucking point? On top of it, it can screw your setup completely. Like, looky here! Mega Form runs out and I miss my shot. Yeah, like I'm not gonna wanna throw my fucking gamepad, stupid ass fucking... I mean, the power-up itself wouldn't be a bad addition to the item mode from previous games, but to make this the only power-up that ends up canceling each other out most of the time makes no goddamn sense. But it's even worse. Oh, it's much worse than that because something returned from home that I couldn't stand. The chance shots. I fucking despise this mechanic. It can be so broken and so one-sided, to the point where it doesn't matter how skilled you are. If you're bouncing back and forth just barely sending the ball back, which allows your opponent to get another chance shot set up, then mix this with them having a Mega Mushroom. Well, I wonder what's gonna fucking happen. Plus, it kills off any real strategy. Before, you had to predict where your opponent was gonna hit and send the ball. But with chance shots, it tells you where the ball is headed. So the challenge isn't about skill or strategy. It's all about who gets that glowing circle. But you know, there was one mode that I sincerely enjoyed. Classic tennis. Or more specifically, simple classic tennis. You know why? No stupid Mega Mushrooms or no stupid bullshit chance shots. What does that say about a game where the only real enjoyment I get out of it is vanilla mode? In a Mario game for that matter. But vanilla is the best way to describe this game, because compared to what came before, who in their right mind would buy this at full price if they own any other entry? Where's the tournament mode? Where's the item battle mode? Ring shot mode? How come there's only one court with different skins? Why is characters like Diddy Kong gone? Why are character selection picks only stock pictures, and why is there no option to play left-handed? Yeah, that's how bare bones this game is. As far as I'm aware, you don't even get this option.
You know, as a lefty myself, I find this to be very discriminating, Nintendo, you left-handed bigots. Hey, if some guy on the internet can bitch about Super Mario Maker being racist over a hand cursor, I don't think this one is that far-fetched, so shut up.
I just can't wrap my mind around how they thought it was okay to charge full price for a game that lacks so many things. Even if we didn't see the return of special games but got the stuff I just mentioned, Ultra Smash would have felt a lot more complete. Or if they even adopted a Splatoon model where we got free DLC for a bit, then I'd be singing a different tune. Hell, Open did this very thing with QR codes. But as it is now, Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves for thinking this was okay for a $60 price tag. I paid $27 on eBay, and even then I think I paid too much. But I'd rather the money go to someone who could use it than Nintendo in this case, because fuck you, you do not charge $60 for a glorified demo.
We're at the halfway point, but next up is... Oh boy, I think we should probably get into some of the backstory as to why I feel this is a huge middle finger to the fan base.
When Mario Party 9 was released, it didn't get the most welcome reception due to its radical change in gameplay from entries that came before. Usually the theme was, what the hell is this? Why are we on this car moving down a linear path collecting these mini stars instead of earning coins to buy real stars? Where's the strategy? Where's the depth? Why the hell did they do this? Like, why? Simply put, the devs wanted to try something different, as this was Mario Party's big return after a 5-year absence. And the last game did feel like a cheap cash-in title that was having major franchise fatigue. I mean, they obviously were when one of the minigames in 8 resembled someone jacking off and blowing your load. Yeah, son, I think Nintendo just wants to sweep under the rug. To be fair, I'll give the developers ND Cube credit for wanting to try their own thing and differentiate their game from Hudson Soft's previous entries. And like I mentioned in my mini review of 9, I think if this gameplay was just a separate mode, then I think people would be more okay with it. But the replacement alienated a lot of fans. You tried ND Cube, but your experiment failed. Just next time, learn from your mistakes. Well, fast forward to E3 2014 and Mario Party 10 is being shown off for the first time, and the major gimmick this time around was Bowser Party, a mode where one player takes control of Bowser and faces off against 4 other players. Looks a little intriguing, but then you would quickly notice that part of the footage showed that everyone was in a car again. My first thought was, there's just no fucking way they could be this stubborn or tone deaf. So like I usually do, I didn't write the game off, but I was highly cautious and waited to hear or see more of the game before I decided if I was gonna get it or not. But let's discuss Bowser Party for a bit since we're on the topic. As I mentioned earlier, this is a 1 versus 4 player mode where the goal is either catch the riders and force them in the Bowser-themed minigames to drain them of all their heart points if you're Bowser, or try to reach the end of the map with at least 1 heart point left if you're a player in the car. I like this mode for what it is, but it's kind of flawed in my opinion, mainly because some of the minigames are so one-sided, such as Bowser's Hammer Slammer, Wicked Wheel, and High Dive. The imbalance in minigames can lead to a chain reaction since if the player runs out of hearts, then that's 1 less dice block for the car to move forward and get away from Bowser. It's not broken, just it needed to be reworked in my opinion. In the end though, this was Mario Party 10's biggest attraction, so if that fell flat for you, well, the only other thing that we knew was going to be in this game from the reveal was a mode that looked like Mario Party 9 2.0. Yay! But not really, because it's more of something most of us didn't want back then and certainly didn't want now. This very much seemed like what happened with Paper Mario Color Splash. We were getting a new game in a series that used to be so beloved, but with gameplay mechanics that people either didn't want or hated and despised. And why does this gameplay have such a negative connotation? Simply because it replaced a traditional style of luck-based elements and an everybody wins mentality, mixed with linear board game design that stripped the player of any freedom or choice of their own actions. So to see it come back again was baffling. It made many people question just how tone-deaf or stubborn and arrogant the devs were about insisting on bringing back a type of gameplay that most people didn't want. And about 7 months later, they pretty much proved that, yeah, the devs were being stubborn about this change because in January of 2015, during a Nintendo Direct, we got another trailer, and this time it showed off a new mode that we didn't know about previously. Amiibo Party. Motherfucking Amiibo fucking Party. What does this resemble to you? A traditional Mario Party mode that has been dumbed down and bastardized beyond disbelief, you say? Ding 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 ding, goddamn fucking ding. Ugh. I was completely dumbfounded when I first saw this. I could not believe that this was actually in Mario Party 10. At this point, no one can say they just overlooked things or was completely tone deaf. There was no doubt they knew about the mixed and negative reaction 9 had for radically changing the series. Amiibo Party was one of the biggest dick teases as well as being a slap in the face and middle finger to the fans that had ever come out of Nintendo and Mario. This was basically them saying, we know very well that you guys wanted to return the form, but tough fucking noogies, take it or leave it because this is all you're getting. And on top of it, it played like total crap. Who honestly thought it was a good idea to have to scan the amiibo every time it was your turn, then had to pass the gamepad to each player when it was their turn? In my opinion, this is when the Nintendo doom and gloom really started to ramp up. People were already thinking this due to how abysmal the Wii U was selling, but for a while it seemed like for every good game they came out with 2 or 3 disappointing or mind-boggling stupid-ass games that no one asked for. And these are just 2 examples. I could go through a whole list of Nintendo games that would fit in with the Shadow Mario years, if I wanted to include games from other franchises. Metroid Prime Federation Force and Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival are prime examples.
But there seems to be light at the end of this tunnel as Nintendo's made a comeback with a lot of its franchises. Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Odyssey, 2 new real Metroid games. It's going to be interesting to see where these franchises are in a couple of years from now. But this was just a quick retrospective of the Shadow Mario years, and I just hope it never gets that bad again. But until then, I've got a movement to start.
Perfect.